Hello, Crokinole fans. We've got another Long Island Crokinole Club Spring League 2026 matchup. Here we've got X taking on Will in the semifinals of the losers bracket. The winner of this will go on to face one more person in the losers bracket. The winner of that match will go on to grand finals, play the winner of the winners bracket. So I believe X lost to Andrew in the winners bracket, and then beat Danny, and now is facing Will. Will has gone on a little run through the losers bracket with a couple wins. Most recently, in the last video we saw, he beat Liz. And one more win here could put Will in striking distance of coming back to win the whole thing. We shall see. Players diddle for the middle, and Will go first. And on his first shot, Will falling a little bit short. Maybe the nerves have got him. And X going a little bit long, but still stays in enough for a valid shot. Will tries to follow through a bit, but ends up hitting X's disc into that hole, bouncing around. X doing a great job pulling the disc back towards the center. Will goes for a takeout, can't get it, but still leaves it right in the 15. A bit heavy for X, but he nails it. X has 3 pieces on the board now. Will has got to do some makeup here. And hits one out. But he's going to need to do some work, especially considering X has hammer. X doing a good job keeping a few discs outside now. Going to make it hard for Will to bring play to the center and come back in. Will hits one off, but keeps his still outside. X content to stick on the outside, knows that hammer advantage is going to be big. Will cannot get the off. It's going to leave X on there. X will now get a 4th disc on the board. To Will's none. Oh, but he will also lose one of his discs, so X will still have 3 discs on the board. 3 discs in all very awkwardly placed out, spread apart spots. Will see what he could do. He's not sure. He may come in through the center to hit that piece on his right, hoping to catch a peg into a 20. Oh, he gets the peg, but bounces just a little bit in the wrong direction. X with a very good shot. But he does leave Will with an opportunity to possibly hide a disc. Although a hide from Will won't do great right now while X still has 10 points on the board. Will is going to try and need to make something happen. And Will gets a double takeout there. Giving himself a fighting chance. If X misses the shot, then we have a tie. X nails it, and X will go up 2-0. Very first game. Hammer will now switch back to Will. X starting off, lead-off shot. And he hits a 20 right off the bat. Will answering right along with the 20. X with another 20. And Will with another 20. We have a 20s race. X keeping it going with his third 20. And Will with the answer. X, that's 4 20s now. And Will breaks the streak, goes a little long. X with a nice hit off and away from the hole. Will goes for it, cannot hit the 20. X now has an open shot and misses. But it's on Will's side of the board. It's going to be a follow-through if he wants a 20 here. Doesn't get the follow, loses his shooter. X now has another chance to put this one away. And he does with a 20. Will's going to have to take that white piece out. And X with not a 20, but he's still up 5 20s to 3. There's nothing Will can do at this point. And X will go up 4-0. A quick 4-0 for X. And a nice win against the hammer, too.
Change the music. X is vibing.
Will needs a change in the music. Perhaps a change in the music will change the direction this match is going in for him.
No, I'm just kidding. Alright, my turn. 4-0.
You can't spell Ox without X, and X is the master of the Ox at Crokinole Night. Will with a lead-off 20. X with another 20. Players determined for another 20s race here. 2 20s each again. And Will being the first to miss again. And X gets some bouncing around in there. Does not manage to demote Will. X does have a hammer, but Will is fine leaving it in the 10 for now, knowing X is going to have to go for that 15 eventually. X doing it now and getting a demotion, but not knocking Will off. He does leave his piece against the peg. Will chasing after a lost disc. Will keeping his on the board, not moving X's disc around that much. X maybe going for a takeout, maybe going a double if he could see it. Nope, he's playing it safe, but he is up quite a bit on the board. With the hammer advantage is good. And Will keeps him on the outside. X opting to go for that 10. X now up 10 points. And Will loses his shooter. And X loses his shooter. Will, with one shot left, can take the lead and hope for an X miss here, if he can hit all the way across the board. And he does. X just needs to hit this disc out and stick in the 10. And he does. X will take it by 5, the skin of his teeth. Will remarks X is crushing him. So far, 6-0. You never know, though. Will start the next round with hammer, as X will lead us off. X goes a little bit long on his first shot. Will with a nice follow. Doesn't get the 20, but gets solidly into the 15. X not getting a takeout there, but getting his own into the 15. And Will is going to lose his shooter going for that one. Can X come back in this right now? And X with a really nice shot. He's now got 2 in the 15. Will following through all the way to X's side of the board. Now Will does have hammer. And X with a shot to knock off Will, but only gets in the 5 point. Will content to be hitting that disc in the 15. X not going to be able to knock Will off of that one. Now, is Will just going to go for a nice old takeout here? Is he going to get a 20? And a whole lot of nothing on that one for Will. He is loving it. X loses his shooter on that one. Will's got a second shot at this. And he gets a nice touch 20. First 20 of the round. And X with another 20 just answering. That hammer advantage is coming in big for Will right now. He knocks that one off. X gets into the 10. Now Will's going to need a double takeout here to stay alive. Needs to avoid the sweep on this one. Either a double takeout or he rolls into the 15. X manifesting Will's not going to do it. He needs that sweep. Will not go quietly. How will he play this? And Will gets the 15. Stays alive. That is 2 points for Will. And with that, we play on. Will, very excited he's not getting swept here. But misses that first 20 short. A dangerous place to be. And X with a nice takeout 20. Takeout 20 plus the hammer. It's going to be hard for Will to come back from. We will see if he can do it. Will hits a nice 20 there. Doing his job. And X answering right back. Not letting up. Will with another 20. X, that's 3 20s now. Will keep answering. And X goes a little bit long. Could this be opening the door? Will gets a little bit of drag on that one, but not quite the 20. X going for another one and loses his shooter. We have a new game with 3 shots each. Will take the 20, but Will needs a mistake out of X. A tie game will result in X winning the match, and that is exactly what Will needed. Will keeping the disc away from the hole, cannot lose his own shooter here, and X loses his own shooter. Leaving room for Will to seal the deal here with a 20, and he does. X going to practice his 20s. Nope, he's going to shoot Will's anyway. And Will with another 2 points, coming back 6-4. X going to lead this one off. And just shy of the 20. That is, I swear, 5/6 of the way down. Will telling everyone to go away. He knows he is locked in right now. Will with a takeout 20 from a very heavy hanger. X leaves another one short. Will's got another opportunity here. Does not convert, but still leaves it in the 15, keeping his disc on the board. And X cannot knock it away. Will could pull ahead here with a nice takeout of X's disc, even if he doesn't get the 20. And Will, nothing but pegs on that shot. X with a great shot, knocking Will off, putting his white disc right in between that peg. A very awkward spot to hit that out. Will gonna try and maybe hit that white disc on the right side. And he was going for it. put his disc right next to X's. X hits it out, leaves it kind of close to the hole, but it's on Will's side. Is Will going to go right side for a touch? Nope, he's going to go left side. Oh, he's going back to the right. Towards the center here, maybe get both of them. He does not get both, but he stays in the 15, which is good enough for someone with the hammer right now and up a 20. Will knows he just has to keep hitting X's discs, keep his away from the 20, meaning leaving X with no opportunity to come back, and he leaves two white discs on the board. That is not going to be easy to keep pace with. X now down to his last disc. Will with 2 left needs to keep hitting and cannot lose his shooter. He's thinking he may go for the far disc that is between pegs. And Will with a nice soft touch double takeout. X may have forgotten that he is not hammer here. So he's going to need to do something. And X content with the possible tie if Will misses everything. Will needs to hit something, not lose his shooter to win the round. And he does with it. Bounce back 20. Great shot for Will. It is now 6-6. X wins 3 games in a row. Will wins 3 games in a row. Who will win the last one? Will X just take the Cinderella story and shut the door from the 6th seed all the way to the losers bracket semifinals, 1 game away from winning? Or will Will complete the comeback? Sudden death Crokinole, we love to see it. And Will with the lead off right in front of the hole. X looking to capitalize. And he does not, but he takes it away from the hole as the hammer. That is not a bad place to be if you are X. Will taking out the disc, leaving his own a little close to the peg, but X has a pathway to hit it out, and he does. Will with a hard shot hitting X out. X wants to keep the play on his side of the board right here, but he knocks Will in. And that could be a very costly blunder. Will content to be outside. He's going to make X peel. X has got to peel here, and he doesn't. He keeps it still in play. Will is going to be content to stick on the outside of the board, and he does, close to that peg. That's not going to be an easy shot for X to hit out in the first place. And X whiffs it. A 20 would be huge for Will here. And he hits it. Will is dialed in. X finally hits that one out, but loses his own shooter. And Will sinks a 20, guaranteeing the W. The X will drop that one in. It is not going to matter. The come from behind has been completed. And Will move on to the losers bracket finals. What a comeback. You saw it here, folks.